Today, we are diving into a really powerful mindset shift. It's all about moving from being someone who's just consumed by problems to becoming someone who actively creates solutions. It's a change in perspective, all grounded in a Christian worldview that can honestly reframe our whole purpose in the world.
Our source material kicks off with this pretty provocative idea. The common story out there is that the church is full of problems, right? And the secular world, well, they've got all the answers. But throughout this breakdown, we're going to explore what it really takes to flip that script completely on its head.
So where do we even start with flipping this script? Well, it all begins with our mindset. In this first part, we're going to look at two fundamentally different ways to approach any challenge, and you'll see how our internal focus totally shapes our external impact.
This really gets to the heart of that tension from the opening quote, doesn't it? The perception is so often that faith is kind of outdated, while all the practical, real-world solutions come from secular thinking. But the argument here is the exact opposite, that the teachings of Jesus have always held the solutions. The real challenge, then, isn't about finding new answers, but about shifting our own mindset so we can finally see them.
Okay, this slide just lays it out so clearly. It's a huge contrast in what drives someone. On one side, you've got a leader whose whole focus is on real, lasting, eternal change that lines up with God's will. And on the other side, someone who's driven by personal fame, by money, by social status. It's that classic battle between a divine purpose and just plain old worldly ambition.
And here's the absolute bottom line. A truly solution-focused Christian lines up their goals with God's priorities. It's not about building a personal brand or trying to get likes and validation from the world. No, it's about becoming a channel for divine solutions, the kind that have real, eternal weight and meaning.
So if we're supposed to avoid that self-centered, ego-driven trap, what's the alternative? Well, the source material points us toward a totally new mental framework, one that the Apostle Paul famously called the mind of Christ.
So here it is, the core concept. The mind of Christ, just like Paul talks about in 1 Corinthians, isn't just about thinking positive thoughts. Not at all. Think of it more like a complete reboot of your mental operating system, where your thoughts, your goals, your entire perspective are intentionally synced up with God's will, not just your own.
And the power of this renewed mind, it's staggering. This quote from 1 Corinthians suggests it's not just about getting smarter or having human wisdom. It's about tapping into a level of insight and truth that our eyes and ears, our natural senses, just can't pick up on their own. It's literally access to a supernatural source of solutions.
What this means is we have to reorient our entire perspective. We stop looking at problems through a purely earthly, temporary lens, and we start asking, okay, what does this look like from a heavenly viewpoint? What's the solution here that has lasting, eternal significance? It is a profound, game-changing shift in priority.
But is this mindset just some nice theoretical idea? Absolutely not. The Bible is just packed with examples of people whose intense focus allowed them to pull off seemingly impossible, solution-oriented tasks. Let's take a look at a couple of them.
In Hebrews chapter 11, which is often called the Hall of Faith, you see this pattern over and over again with these heroes. Their secret weapon wasn't some overwhelming talent. It was an unwavering focus. They locked in on the one specific crucial thing God gave them to do and just tuned out all the other noise.
Just think about Noah. The problem was this massive global catastrophe that was coming, something no one else could see or even believe. Instead of debating it or being paralyzed by fear, he was given one solution: build an ark. For decades, through all the ridicule and doubt, that was his singular, obedient focus. And then you've got Abraham. He's asked to leave his home, his family, literally everything he knows, for a destination he wasn't even given a map for. His solution wasn't to demand a 5-year plan, it was simply to go. That is a perfect example of solution-focused faith, taking that first step without needing to see the final one.
So the lesson from these heroes is crystal clear. Distraction is the enemy of divine solutions. It doesn't matter if you're building an ark or starting a nation, bringing a God-given vision into reality requires an intense, unwavering focus on the task right in front of you.
Okay, so this ancient principle is great, but how does it actually apply to our crazy modern world? Let's get practical and explore the real-world impact this solution-focused mindset can have for us right now. Just look at this list from the source material. It's incredible. People of faith have tackled everything from huge redemptive problems like sin, to health problems like sickness, to political issues, and even massive project management challenges like building the temple. This isn't about solving just one kind of problem, it's a framework for solving any kind of problem.
And this is really the key takeaway. This is not about offering up some vague religious platitudes. Now, the solution-focused Christian aims to provide tangible, effective actions that make a real difference in people's lives right here, right now. If someone is sick, the goal is healing. If they're lost, the goal is guidance. We're talking about real solutions.
So, you might be wondering, how do I find my specific solution to focus on? Well, the source connects it directly to what the Bible calls spiritual gifts, these unique, divinely given abilities. Are you a gifted administrator? Your solution is to bring order to chaos. Are you generous? You help solve problems of provision. These gifts aren't just random talents. They are the specific tools God has equipped you with to build your piece of the puzzle.
And what's so empowering about this is that no one person has to solve everything. We are not all called to do the same thing. Nehemiah didn't heal the sick, and the Apostle Paul didn't build temples. But each of us has a specific role to play, a portion of the overall solution that only we can provide.
And this brings us right back to where we started. Remember that idea of flipping the script on the world's narrative? Well, the argument is that it all starts with an internal transformation. We can't show the world that Christianity has the solutions until we first transform our own minds to be solution-focused.
So we're going to end with this direct call to action. It's not about solving all the world's problems by tomorrow morning. It's about identifying that one area, that one person, or that one task where you can apply your God-given gifts. It's about finding the one solution you can bring to life starting today. So what is yours?